Hello. I'm gonna quit making my intros so long-winded. Hello. I have iced coffee. Welcome to Nosy Bystanders. Welcome. Come on in. There's this content creator. I cannot think of her name, but she's the one who made the sound. I'm always working. What you know her? She does videos where she tries different drinks. She tries different cocktails. A black girl. What's her name, y'all? And she'd be like, she's so funny. I wish I could remember what her TikTok handle is, but she be cracking me up. She'd be like, "I'm always working." I can't think of her name. I cannot for the life of me think of her name. Hello, how's everybody doing? Hello, welcome in. We got a lot to talk about today, child. Ooh, child. We got a lot to discuss. Let me stop rambling. We got a lot to discuss. Tons, actually. We have tons to discuss. Simone has arrived. Hello, Simone. What's up, DS. Kara? Hello. What's up, MX Dree? Y'all got some unusual names. Hello, Mysterious by Nature. Hello, Mike. Hello, Lovelace. Everyone's come on in. We're gonna have to talk about. We're gonna talk about the shade room. Don't you? I didn't forget. I didn't forget. Okay, we're gonna talk about the shade room today because I just about had it up to here. I had it just about up to here with them. Child up here. Okay. We're also streaming live on the Chief Nosy Bystander channel on TikTok. If you're streaming on TikTok, you're not going to get the graphics. You'll just see me pointing quite often. You're not going to get the graphics, but you're going to see me pointing. I'm always pointing. But child, let's okay. So I want to just do a little recap because yesterday we talked about a lot. We were talking about that story that had broke with let me pull it up here. The story that had broke with Nicki Minaj yesterday, these graphics seen here. So we talked about this story yesterday and how the girl who, or man, we don't actually know the gender of the person, was revealing a whole lot of stuff about Nicki Minaj. So we don't really quite know all of that. I'm telling you, I'm watching the story. It is quite convoluted. But all of this, at some point, that's going to come to a crescendo. I guarantee you it will. At some point, all of this is going to come to a crescendo. Um, some people are saying that it's trolls. There's no troll that's that perfectly executed. It's definitely a disgruntled employee. Would I say assistant? I don't know. But it's definitely a disgruntled employee who's playing a real dicey game of chess. Hello, everybody over here on TikTok. So if you can't see any of the graphics, we're over here on YouTube. So I'm gonna be pointing at a lot of stuff. We're discussing our story yesterday about that disgruntled, mysterious employee of Nicki Minaj. Okay, we just got here, so we're all here. So this story, we're just gonna watch it slowly. Now, yesterday we talked about how all of the disgruntled employees' mysterious accounts had disappeared, and then thousands of them reappeared. And then somebody made a TikTok video that I thought was really interesting. And at first I was like, oh, this has got to be fake. But then I was like, it's too well choreographed to be fake. Then somebody had denoted, what if it's Nicki Minaj herself doing it? Then I was like, no, she doesn't seem like she's smart enough to come up with a plan like that. Then I saw a TikTok video yesterday that was describing the whole takedown of whatever that mysterious person, Kate Miller, quote unquote, was doing and exposing about Nicki Minaj. So the TikToker, I wish I could remember their name, but they made a statement and they said, if you think this is nothing, right? If it's a nothing burger, it's nothing, it's just internet sizzle, right? Sizzle. If it's nothing, why exactly did Nicki Minaj even respond? If it's nothing. And I thought that was the most interesting take of all of yesterday. That I said, yeah, that's a really interesting point. If it's nothing, why even say anything? It's nothing, right? If it's nothing, why have the page taken off of Instagram and Twitter? If it's nothing, there might be something to it. You can put your conspiracy theory tinfoil hats on for this one because there's definitely something to it. You know what I mean? There's definitely something to the story. So I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh, Nicki Minaj is so correct. There's nothing to it. People are just being dramatic. But at the same time, if you're booked and busy, internet stuff that comes up, pops up about you on the internet would not have shaken you that bad. So that's just my take. Let's see who we got in the building over here on TikTok. Is it Coco Ann? Hello. Hi, Billy Sam. Hi, Angela. Hello, Natalie. What's up, Carol baby? What's up, basically Brooklyn? What's up, Pink Bella? Hello, everybody's in here. Okay, hello. Yeah, so that person made a really good point. If it was nothing, why even respond? So I don't know. Well, I'll be watching the story because that's what happens on the internet, you guys. When people stop talking about stuff, then it goes by the wayside and you just got to archive everything. That's just my take. Archive it and we'll come back to it at a later date cuz if there was something significant about it, that is why you want to return to it later. You may not know what it is now. Not every story, because we're so used to like celebrity gossip being thrown right in our face. But a lot of those stories get developed over months. So just give it some time. I definitely archived most of it on the Wayback Machine. If you don't know how it works, we'll have a discussion about it later. But I archived all of those posts from that mysterious assistant, and I'm gonna come back to it later when nobody's looking. That's usually how I that's usually how I work. When nobody's looking, I'm gonna investigate it because I feel like there's some teeth to it. So that's the update on this whole Kate Miller assistant story. I don't know what to make of it, but we'll see. I argue. We'll come back to it later, right? Footnote that, right? Is that what your professors used to say? Put a footnote on that, and we'll come back to that in a minute because there's definitely something here. I'm not entirely sure what, but there's definitely something there. And if you're gonna take the word of Nicki Minaj saying there's no there, keep in mind she married a predator. Okay, so just park that in the back of your noodle, okay? Park that in the back of your noodle. If you're taking the word of this lady, keep in mind she actively married him. She didn't marry him and it happened years later in the midst of their marriage. She knew what she was stepping into. So keep that in mind. She actively married a habitual liar and predator. So please try not to take the word of that woman, okay? Try not to take the word of that woman. All right, I'm just saying, okay? Just I'm not saying I'm, squares, squares a Lorna Doone, the Lorna Doone crackers. I ain't squares a Lorna Doone, okay? But I'm just saying, like, just keep in mind the people who be like, oh, don't look. Like, nah, I should start looking. So, when they start telling you not to look, that's when you really have to start looking. There's probably not much here, but archive it. Just put it in the back of your brain. Okay. That's all I'm saying about this whole story. So that's the recap. Anything else that comes up about this story here, y'all know I'm gonna keep y'all informed and I'm gonna let y'all know what it is and what it does. Now let's get into these trifling. Let's get into this. Okay. If you don't see the graphics, you're gonna have to join us at the Nosy Bystanders here on YouTube. Because honey, I got some graphics up. So you're just gonna see me pointing at thin air here on TikTok, but everybody on YouTube can see exactly what I'm pointing at and the culprits we about to discuss. Because we got to talk about that. Now, somebody in the comments just said Beyonce and Khalees. Yeah. Breaking news: Beyonce decided to remove the song or the sample from Khalees off of her Renaissance album. No shade to Beyonce. The album is ASS. It's awful. It's awful. She could have kept it in there. Just okay, just leave it in. It's awful. The song's terrible. The album's even worse. So just keep it in there. It's not what I was looking for. I was looking for a little bit of the lemonade, but we got some really terrible house music. She should have really called Azalea Banks. That's my opinion. She should have called Azalea Banks. Called Azalea. She's a Looney Tune, but one of her good friends is Grimes and Elon Musk. She rubs elbows with some of the best. Did we all forget that Azalea Banks slept with Dave Chappelle? Or is that like, did we forget that? Did we park that in the back somewhere and we just said, screw it? Right? Okay, we parked that in the back. We just said forget it. We I'm asking. Did we say forget it? Okay, we forgot it. Fine. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Before Azalea Banks was she's been banned. She's not on Twitter. She was permanently banned off of Twitter. Um but she had released a number of tweets stating that she had a relationship with Dave Chappelle. And then Dave Chappelle goes on one of his sketches on it's still on Netflix, and he basically just laughed it off and said, "Azalea Banks, you talk too much." He didn't deny it though. Y'all get with it. Where y'all be at? What's up, Miss Hippie? Where y'all be at? He said, "No, let's talk about it." While he was married, y'all, Dave Chappelle was married like 20 years. So anytime somebody comes out and said they slept with him, it's probably during his marriage. Okay, nobody was sleeping with Dave Chappelle in the 80s. Okay, I'm just saying. So we parked that in the back, right? So we just said, okay, forget it. He slept with Azalea Banks. Yeah, it is what it is. But I want to talk about this story here. So shout out to Khalees for standing her ground. But before we get into this shade room garbage here, um, shout out to Khalees for standing her ground. I totally support her. It's just common courtesy to just say it. She knows, Khalees knows she has no rights to tell people who and who can't use her samples, but she's saying it's just being a black woman in the industry is common courtesy. You know, I got yoinked for my masters and yoinked for my work that she considers a work of art. I got yoinked for it. So the least you could do as a woman in the industry is just be like, hey, I'm going to use it. Thought you should know. That's all I'm saying. Okay. That's all I'm saying. You said, I literally come to you for news before the news. Thank you, Crazy Cookies. So let's get into the Shade Room. Now, if you haven't been on the Shade Room's page, if you're out of brain cells, go head over to the Shade Room's Instagram page. If you plan on keeping the brain cells that you got, just listen to what I'm about to tell you. So the Shade Room posted a Shade Room Investigate series about Glow J and Zaporia's the scandal that's behind that, how he had crowdsourced money on her behalf and then did it in her name, probably illegally, collected the funds and never gave it to her and stated she didn't deserve it. Well, the Shade Room's investigating it. Now, if you guys don't know already, I've already covered that story in depth. There's 1,000,002 stories out there that the Shade Room could have covered. Come on, y'all. Shade. It's what it is. They're not trying to help that woman out. And if they did it, they did it on behalf of Glow J with his I was about to say an epithet I would have regretted saying. On behalf of Mr. Glow J. Look, Shade Room, if you looking for stories, because I know y'all hard pressed because don't nobody trust y'all, and you're tired of getting paid by Nicki Minaj and all the people in her camp. If you're hard pressed for stories, simply stop hiring staff members from the Potter's house and maybe start hiring real journalists to cover stories, to search the internet for stories, to not just ignore everybody's DMs if they're not talking about Nicki Minaj or some of your favorites, whoever this Ari Fletcher girl is. Maybe instead of hiring a bunch of purple labeled Christians, maybe hire some journalists or two, maybe a couple. It can't hurt you. Multi-million-dollar media company. You would think you would hire a journalist. They had Kyle though from the Neighborhood Talk, and he graduated from Pepperdine with either a bachelor's or a master's in journalism. Maybe they just scare off real journalists. I don't know. I don't know. Not my business. I don't care. But quit two-stepping with Nicki Minaj and quit combing the internet for other people's stories and maybe using your giant platform to cover other stories. I don't know. Have you considered Michelle Loud and how TD Jakes, your best friend, his daughter is out here collecting babies like Thanos stones? Do you ever consider that? That was a big story. You didn't steal that one. I'm just curious. You know what I mean? I'm just super duper curious. Okay. So if you're joining us here on TikTok, all of our graphics that you see me pointing to either this way or that way, they're on YouTube at the Nosy Bystanders. I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube, but only YouTube has access to these graphics. So if you see me pointing at random things, it's because we finally got us an editor to give us some graphics. Okay. Let me read some of your comments. Um, Basically, Brooklyn said, facts, preach. I'm trying to preach, but my temple's hurting. Student Gee says, yes. Veronica, what's up, Veronica? Says, not Thanos stones. Yes, honey, indeed. So if, I'm not trying to sit here and hate on the shade room. I don't care about the shade room. Y'all know I don't care about them. I have enough brain cells to know not to read their content. And all, if I add up the numbers of both people here on YouTube and TikTok, all 800 of you in the building probably do as well. Okay. So all I'm saying is quit picking and choosing which stories you're going to cover. You don't actually care about Black people. There was an incredible article written in Page Six about the Shade Room a number of years ago where they discussed how the old school bloggers of the day who actually used to go and search out those real good stories, headed to Studio 54 and heading into Harlem and hanging out with all the rappers of the 90s and 80s, and how they were these bloggers from back in the day were really getting these stories, and how the Shade Room just kind of turned tea into this manufactured mill. So people just want it now and quick in a hurry. And it's just like, no, even though it's celebrity gossip and it has like no basis for like importance, sometimes it does. And some people really appreciate a long formed storytelling when it comes to celebrity gossip. So a ton of bloggers had come out, old school bloggers who had retired, was like, the Shade Room is literally just pumping out these manufactured stories, using catchy headlines, no depth to anything that they discuss, and then they turn around and call it celebrity gossip. They really just stonewalled all like the important bloggers of the day. But the problem with that is that it's, one, it's not journalism. Two, I don't know what a Shade Room investigates is, because I watched that whole story. It was a crock of shit. And then the third thing about it is that these type of stories that we see them do, those are few and far between. The Shade Room pumps out like 25 to 30 Instagram posts a day. So if you're doing one of these stories once a year, you're not really doing your due diligence. You understand what I mean? This is not due diligence in work. I think people are just so used to being able to get stories really quick and relatively fast, is why that they enjoy the Shade Room, because it's quick. They get 25 stories a day, not realizing that half of those 25 stories are the same six people. Okay. They're the same six people. So Shade Room, stop stealing our stories. You can have them. Once we cover them, you're more than welcome to share them. We don't care, but you're gonna give us our flowers. I'm not like these other bloggers. Okay. I'm not like these other ones. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not like them. I want all the smoke. Okay. I'm not like your friends who you kiki and rub elbows with. None of those niggas pay me. None of them were ever on my payroll. I don't care. You cover a story that we've covered in depth, you gonna give us our credit where credit is due, because we're just gonna stay on your neck. That's just how it is. Okay. That's what we do. Okay. We are the New York Times of celebrity gossip, because we actually do in-depth stories. Our stories aren't pumped out every single day because we actually have integrity about what we deliver, right? Even if it is messy. Okay. Period. So, Shade Room, get your lives together. Um quit hiring staff members from a church, and maybe consider getting some decent journalists. Maybe consider that put that on the top of your list, right? While you're so busy following Ari Fletcher, whoever that is. She seems like a very beautiful woman, but you're so busy following Ari Fletcher and her 35th thousandth Rolls Royce around the city. Maybe consider hiring a journalist or two. Okay. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Okay. Get yourself a journalist. I want to talk about this scumbag right here. And yes, I did call him a scumbag, and no, I don't mean allegedly. We're going to talk about this man right here. If you want to see these graphics here on TikTok, just join us over here on YouTube, TikTok. So, because we're going to get into this story immediately, because the stones I've uncovered on this person, I can't even. Thanks for the glasses. I can't even start to begin about why Kevin Hart is what probably the biggest dumpster fire I've ever seen. Now, I used to love Kevin Hart. I used to love Kevin Hart until I started researching a story about him. The story, actually, funny enough, he got played by his own obsession. He got played by his own niche, his own obsession, his own, hobby. He got played by his own hobby. And we're going to talk about how Kevin Hart, listen, I tell you right now, we're going to talk about how Kevin Hart literally got aired out by the most mundane magazine on the face of the planet. Literally the most mundane magazine on the face years ago. And because I stumbled upon it, it dropped me down this incredible rabbit hole. And I want to know the truth, right? So I want to know the truth. So let's just begin. So Mr. Hart right here, if you don't remember, he was actually in a car accident on September 1st of 2019. He was in a car accident. So Kevin Hart was in a car accident. He sustained some lower back injuries. And there was also two other individuals in the vehicle at the time of the accident. I probably should have the graphics for this, huh? Now that's just me being lazy. I didn't get the graphics for it, but you just gonna have to believe me, okay? So there were two individuals in the car. One of them who goes by the name Rebecca, and she happens to be Kevin Hart's wife's personal trainer, and the other individual was Rebecca's fiance, who goes by the name of Jared Black. If Kevin Hart's listening right now, he ought to turn the volume up, because this is the part where the story gets really dicey for him. So Kevin Hart purchases a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda, completely guts it out, and purchases it sometime between 2016 and 2019 before his accident. Right? So the magazine that airs him out, which actually discloses his filthy secret, happened to be Motor Trend magazine. And I'm going to finish this story up here on YouTube. So I'm going to close out this TikTok live and I'm going to stream these graphics because, y'all need to see this in the clear. So TikTok, join us here on YouTube at NosyBystanders, and NosyBystanders here on YouTube. Get your popcorn, child, because this is where it get messy. All right, bye. So this is where the story gets incredibly messy. Okay. Are y'all y'all scooching in? Because honey, the story allegedly, okay, we'll sprinkle some allegedlys everywhere. Let's sprinkle that everywhere. Y'all love that. Y'all love that word, allegedly. Allegedly, all of this is true. But I got enough of the receipts to know that it's true. But we still gonna say allegedly because we're not trying to get sued over here. Okay. We're not trying to get sued. All right. We're not trying to get sued. So September 1st of 2019, Kevin gets into a motor vehicle accident in Calabasas, California. There's two other individuals in the car, and Rebecca, his wife and Nico's personal trainer, and Jared Black, who happens to be Rebecca's fiance. According to the story from our sources, Kevin was heavily intoxicated and he wanted to take his new 1970 Plymouth Barracuda for a joyride. Are you envisioning it? Envision it. So he wants to take his Barracuda for a joyride. Kevin doesn't make it but 2 inches from the curb and he crashes his car, and you guys already know how the rest of that goes. Now, what was up in question was where what's up in question is who was driving the vehicle the night of his crash. Now, according to sources, Kevin jumped out of the car or was helped out of the vehicle, and in turn, he was taken to his house just a couple blocks up the street. And when the ambulance arrived, according to the 911 call, which I believe I can play for you here if you give me 2 seconds, they stated that there was actually 2 individuals in the car. It's funny. It's funny. But we're going to get to that Barracuda. Barracuda. We're going to get to that Barracuda in a minute. I hope y'all love storytelling because this is about to be a long one. So Kevin, Mr. Hart, is driving around in this Barracuda that has 2 seats, but there are 3 passengers. And according to Motor Trend magazine, there's no way for a third person to be in the vehicle unless that third person was sitting on someone's lap. Now, according to Kevin Hart and his sources, he was not driving his Barracuda. Jared was. Okay. Which means that Rebecca would have been sitting on Kevin's lap. If you're friends, fine. Let my wife sit on your lap. Okay. Not that that's weird, but if you're very close friends, I suppose it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't, there's no harm in it, right? There's no harm in it. Okay. According to Motor Trend magazine, it's impossible for Rebecca to have been sitting on anyone's lap, but let's just go with the police report and state there's 3 people in a 2-seater car. Now, what I find really hilarious is, and I don't know if Kevin ever figured this out, and I don't know what happened, but something happened between Rebecca, Jared, and Kevin. I don't know if Rebecca was distraught at how terribly fucked up her husband, her soon-to-be husband was, and initially may have wanted to sue Kevin. But somehow all of that went away. You know how we know that went away? Well, money. So you have 3 people, crashed car, 1 person exits, this one here, 2 people left, 1 person badly ruined. And Motor Trend magazine airing him out. We know why that Rebecca and Jared would have potentially sued Kevin, because that vehicle wasn't insured. It wasn't even road safe, according to Motor Trend magazine. Do you know how Motor Trend magazine knows that that car was not road safe? Because Motor Trend magazine was tracking that car since 2016, before Kevin included what they call, sorry, you guys, I'm new to cars, but they call it a demon engine, which turns that car into some sort of modification of a Hellcat. Okay. If you're a car guy, you know, you know. So Motor Trend magazine is out here airing Kevin out. First, Motor Trend magazine's first claim is that it's impossible for 3 people to fit into that car. Motor Trend magazine then states, we've been tracking that car since 2016. It's impossible for that car to have been road safe based off of the modifications Kevin had made on it. Do you want to know the third claim Motor Trend magazine made? Just thumbs up if you want to know. Thumbs up if you would like to know the third claim Motor Trend magazine made on Kevin's 1970 Plymouth Barracuda. All right, I got you. Because that car was not road safe, it was also uninsured. So you have an uninsured, not road safe vehicle with 3 people in it that only seats 2. And Kevin Hart, currently working on that Jumanji film, he definitely couldn't have a DUI. And he definitely couldn't be driving an unroad safe vehicle. Now, if Kevin Hart and his team were smart, they should have been tracking Rebecca's Instagram page, which they weren't. Specifically, they should have been tracking the comments that Rebecca was liking on Instagram. Specifically, when someone had mentioned her suing Kevin 16 days after the accident, and Rebecca liked it. And don't worry, I got the screenshots. So you have 16 days after a car accident, her fiance terribly, terribly hurt, not dead, but hurt, in a car that you find out is not insured. So there's no retribution. And Kevin, clearly with the most to lose. And you got your wife's personal trainer out here liking comments about suing Kevin. Child. Woo child, the ghetto. So you know what this genius does? Oh, he definitely left the scene of the accident. He did. He definitely left the scene of the accident, which he did, which is against the law. He left Jared Black and Rebecca essentially for dead while his team came to get him. We know his team. Quan, Joey, Daniel. They came to pick him up on the side of the road and left Rebecca and Jared to fend for themselves. But don't you worry, because they made sure to keep them, Jared and Rebecca, extra quiet. You know what he did? You want to take a wild guess? What he did to 2 mildly disfigured individuals in a car accident that he left with no insurance? Kevin knows what he did. Fat sack of money. Specifically, I was about to name drop who. I was about to name drop. Specifically, $4 million worth. That much worth. That much. It's a lot of dough. And Kevin almost got away with it. Had it not been for Motor Trend magazine being a little too nosy when they shouldn't have. Just a little bit. They're just a little too nosy. Well, Motor Trend can't help it. They track cars. It's just their thing. Okay. It's just a thing that they do. They just track cars. They're just interested. If they follow a car from the moment it hits the junkyard to the moment it shows up at its first, car show, Motor Trend has an affinity to track vehicles. And that Barracuda, Motor Trend could not get their sight off of. They couldn't. So Kevin, first, call Motor Trend. Call them. Call them. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but they do a lot of investigative work on vehicles, which I didn't even know what was a thing. And 2, your camp of people, the people who currently work for you got to renew those NDAs, honey. Child, you got to renew them because, honey, they sing like canaries. Sing. I don't know what you do to them. I don't know why they don't. They still work for you. Most of the people I talked to, all of them work for him. They all do. But Motor Trend specifically is on your neck. So you better get in contact with whoever Motor Trend is, whichever photojournalist and journalist comes out to your home and is photographing your vehicle. You need to call Motor Trend, honey, because they out there fishing and they not liking what they seeing, child. I don't care about if he fit in the car or not. I'm more and more and more concerned about why he left the scene, left two people mangled, test driving a car, intoxicated, allegedly intoxicated, and then having his friends, security, come and get him, and not the two innocent individuals in the car. Knowing the car was uninsured, knowing he had had too much to drink. Crazy. So Kevin, call Motor Trend immediately. Get them on the phone. Tell them whatever. Listen, because the story is out. They running with it. I just so happen to be nosy. That's what I'm saying, Natalie. This is from Natalie Council. Natalie said, "Why nobody ever talk about him leaving the scene? Not a clue. Not a clue." I'm gonna read some of your comments. This is from Alexa Austin. Hello, Alexa says he didn't need any more bad press. That's why. Too bad. Too bad. But I totally get you, Alexa. This is from Catherine. Catherine says he didn't go to the hospital like hours later. Yeah, waiting for that blood alcohol to drop. This is from Creative K. What's up, Creative K? That's trash behavior, leaving the scene. He like y'all good. He didn't even say that. This is from Cecilia Perry, but Cecilia says, don't forget he has a national spokesperson gig with Capital One credit card too. Dude was going to lose big. Ciao. Yeah, dear Kevin, call Motor Trend magazine and tell them to quit airing out your business on the internet. Because I don't know if you know this or not, Mr. Kevin, but they're most certainly on. They're most. They are most certainly trying to figure. They're most certainly trying to put two and two together. Also, get whoever Daniel is to you. Get with them people, honey, because they singing like a canary. Anquan and Leland. Get all of them together. All of them. Get them together. Because whatever you be doing to these people, I promise you, Kevin, the people I just listed do not like you for whatever nefarious reason. They might pretend they do, but honey, they don't like you. I mean, I'm just one friend to another. Okay. One friend to another. What kind of NDAs they got, child? The loosest NDAs I'd ever seen. Get with them. Get together with them. They don't like you. For one reason or another, right? That's their private business, but they just don't. Let me get some of your comments. This is from Nikki Colbert. Nikki says, yes, I read about this when it happened. They were all close friends as well with the trainer. They took vacations together and all. Mm-hmm. He bought the car from Barrett Jackson. Who's Barrett Jackson? Rashana says, if you found out, it's too late for him to backtrack. Child, y'all don't want me to find out. Okay. Listen, keep me out of your business. But that's that. I'm going to put together I have all the receipts. I just wanted to let you guys know the story that I'm currently working on. And now I just got to put it into edit, and then I will publish it here on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch all of it with the receipts, the pictures, honey. Rebecca liking those. First of all, Rebecca, you messy for liking all those comments. But me, I'm an internet sleuth, so I don't care about what you post. That's fluff. I care about what you like. I care about what you like. Because again, you guys, we all might be entertainers in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? Whether we're entertaining our kids and our husband, or entertaining people with jokes and stand up, or I'm entertaining people with celebrity gossip. But at the end of the day, we're content users first. And content users, being content users first, we like stuff. Thank God Instagram and Twitter are the messiest places, because then you get to see everybody's likes and see who likes stuff. Child, Eric, we live. Also, I have like a smidgen of integrity, you guys. I would never take money to not cover a story. I don't know if I ever told you guys that, but like, we don't take money to not talk about somebody. If you come to us and be like, hey, here's my side of the story, then what we do is we go through the information and say, does this corroborate the story? A perfect example of that would be what's her name? Naomi, the MUA. Naomi the MUA. She, when I heard her side of the story about, she started a investment thing where people could invest in wigs, and she went out to China and some other stuff, and people were just complaining because they're like, we can't get a refund, we can't get our wigs, something else. When she laid out all the facts and information for me and kind of lined it out, it turns out she wasn't actually a scammer. She's a scatterbrain, but she's not a scammer. So those are two different differences. Somebody who's just bad at putting together paperwork does not make them a scammer. Some people are just really lackadaisical when it comes to paperwork. I need to hire you for personal reasons. Sonia, now come on now. This is the Shade Room do that. That's why you yeah, well, we're grassroots, so we don't have like a ton of like billions of dollars where we can play around and pick and choose whose lives. If somebody comes to us with a legitimate story and I investigated enough to ask questions and be decisive, and if the person is forthcoming and they reply back and they give more information, and it's this back and forth of exchanging of information, and I feel like the story is legitimate and it's got teeth to it, I'm going to run with the story. I'm going to publish the story. I've reached out to all these people, except Kevin. I didn't call him. I have his number. I didn't call him. I didn't want to. I didn't have to. But I reached out to everyone else. You said I was going to say the same thing, Sonia. She needs to hire SH. I need to hire SH. What's SH? Shade Room? So I want to get to the next story because Kevin, that's a work in progress. We're going to talk about him over the course of the next week, and I will be putting out a featured. Now, granted, it's going to get a copyright violation. So I think with that story, I might just put it on my website just to be safe. So you guys can watch it. So it'll be a lot easier. Once we're on Roku, it'll be a lot simpler to just publish content. But in the meantime, I'll probably just put it on the NosyBystanders.com as a featured length docu episode. Does that make sense? Support public media. Really, this is what I am. I'm like the PBS. Okay, support public media. But I want to talk about this last story before we go. It's going to be really, really quick, and I just want to talk about it. This one. Y'all know this. I heard y'all talking about this. A bunch of nosy bystanders sent it to me, and I wanted to discuss it just a little bit. Now, what is this, honey? I got the article pulled up too. It's from the New York Post. I got the New York Post article. Cite your sources anytime you read anything to anyone. So this comes to you from the New York Post. I think his first wife's name is Monyetta Shaw. Underwent a sterilization procedure, having decided to have her then fiance, Grammy Award winning artist Neo, that their 2 children were enough. But 2 months before their wedding, he called it off and later started a family with a new love, an option that Shaw now may never have. Here, a 35-year-old Shreveport, Louisiana native states that this is the biggest regret of her life, how she's moving on. Wow. What do y'all think of this? Because we can't lay blame on her. She's with a man. He says, hey, baby, 2 kids are enough. You take the route to do that. But that is incredibly deceptive. And let me just tell you what I think. I don't think he did it for them, right? Like, babe, I don't want to have any children because he knew he was leaving. I think he did it to her. And let me explain, okay? Let me explain. Let me take a sip of my iced coffee. Let me explain. Now, I don't know the dynamics of their relationship at all. I don't know the dynamics of their relationship. I don't know how they received each other, whether it be good or bad. But a man telling you a couple of months before he's about to leave you to have a sterilization procedure performed, and then he leaves you, he did that to you because that's hatred. That's not, oh, I didn't realize I wanted kids. No, that's hatred. That means he really didn't want you to procreate anymore. Either he feels that it's something about that. You understand what I mean? Like, it's something about that seems incredibly sinister. Like, I don't want you to ever have children with anyone else, or I really, really, really hate you and I just can't let you move on with your life. Or like, I don't know what that is, but that sounds like some, y'all, that sounds like some witchcraft type stuff. You understand what I mean? Or is it me? Am I incredibly paranoid right now? Because I feel like Kevin Hart's attorneys are coming for me. But am I incredibly paranoid right now? Or um does that sound like witchcraft? Sounds weird. This is from ML Moore, says very selfish. Yes. Dirty narcissistic little boy. That's right, Sonia. This is from Ray. Ray said, she said in her post that he was a narcissist, and I believe it. Yes, I believe that. Jerry Fernandez says that's manipulative AF. You can't swear in the comments because YouTube blocks them, but I can read them. He said he planned it. Oh, most certainly he planned it. The question is why? I want to hear why you guys think he did that. Do you think he did it because he just says, I no one else is going to be able to give you a baby, like, because I only want to have a baby with you? Or do you think it was because he just really hates her and he just never wanted her to move on with her life? Or do you think it was a controlling thing too? Like, what do you think it was? So Neil had issues from his first chick. Clearly. Denise says he seems controlling. He looks like he looks like a chocolate M&M in this image. He do got a big head. I don't know. I'm gonna just be very candid with you guys. Obviously, every day I dress like a lesbian, but I actually do date men, and just something about this image. He doesn't seem like the type of person I would just let on top of me. I don't know what it is, but something about this picture, I'm just like, don't touch me. So I don't know what it is. Ugh, don't touch me. Um, Diesel said he is. I don't want to say that because that's mean, but he is so the U word. This is from Shalona. Shalona says he had DNA tests on her kids too. He's selfish. Ooh, no, he didn't. It's the bald head. I don't mind men with bald head. I've dated a bald guy before, but his head was like even. His head was even. This is from She's Brown Like Me. Hello, She's Brown Like Me says, it sounds like he wants the ultimate control over her life. Yeah, that's what it seems like. CDS says, it's always the egg-shaped bald men ones that's evil, like my ex. Yeah, kind of like give him the Lex Luthor vibes. You understand what I mean? Ashley Soul Hall. Ashley Southall. How do you pronounce your last name? Is it South Hall or Southall? Says, I agree with you. Quema, is it Quema? Was it Quema? Said you chowdered. I'm just saying. I know I dress like this, but you guys, I actually clean up when I clean up. I'm not girly. That's a lie. I was about to lie to y'all. And my mama be watching, so I really can't be lying to y'all. And my daddy. I'm not girly. But I clean up. We believe you. I'm just saying. Shout out to my mama. But yeah, I clean up, y'all. I don't got pictures or nothing because I don't be taking pictures when I clean up. I'm bad at pictures. So I don't take pictures often. You said not Tyler Perry. Shonda says, don't you like YouTube? Don't you like don't I like YouTube? Don't you like YouTube? Don't I like white men, Steph? I like all men. If you're a man with legs, I like you. but don't look like Lex Luthor. Courtney says, I believe it. Neo really hasn't been prospering out here, and that's because he's doing bad ish. Could be. I see what you said, Lala. I can't post it, but it's funny. He said, if these kids had heads like him, God bless her cooter. ML Moore says, put me in the mind of the show Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, correct? This is a mess. It's a mess. Neil is a mess. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on one second. Neo is a mess. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Shaderoom's a mess. Kevin's a mess. Hold on. They a mess. I put some shortcuts on my keyboard. All a mess. Everybody's a mess today. All of them. Look. Mess. 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 A mess, honey. I'm a mess too. Shit. Yeah, I am. I'm not a scatterbrain, but I am a mess, you know? So, I mean, I own up to my messiness. Not messy in the sense of like, I like sow seeds of messiness, but like, I mean, I'm a literal slob. So, like, you know, but yeah. Yeah, I'm like a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder. If anything, I throw everything away. So I'm like a declutterer. Er. Monetta is married now. Oh, but she can't have children. That does suck. Yeah, that does suck. He did her. Where's my graphics at? Hold on. Where he at? His bald headed self. He did her dirty. He did do her dirty. So what's done in the dark comes to light. That's true. That is true. Kevin Hart's story is so, you guys, that's just a fraction of the stories that people have been coming out to me with about him. Tons of people been coming up about Kevin. I was just, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, Kevin Hart? Or you mean Kevin Samuels? It's like, no, girl, Kevin Hart. I was like, this is no way that all of these stories. That's just one story, you guys. I'm still working on 2 other stories about Kevin. A mess, honey. Like, why are you doing people like that? Shonda said you can reverse getting your tubes tied. I think she got hers cauterized. There's a difference, right? Where you get them like like that, like when they like cauterize them like a scab. I think that's what she got. Because you can get your tubes untied, that's for sure, but they don't tie them anymore. You know what I mean? You got the boys on speed. They'll be calling. I know they will. Kevin Hart's story had me looking at the screen like, ooh, chow. Yeah, she got him cauterized. I think so too, Kenya. Quima says, you know, Kevin has a movie on Netflix about not making the right choices. Fiction imitating art? Could be. Could be. Maha- Mahadia says, but why would she agree to that? I'm sorry if he didn't want kids to get a vasectomy. Well, here's the thing, and then this will be the last bit because that's a great question. Here's the thing. This will be the last bit. Hold on one second. I got somebody spam in the comments. So, oh wait, I didn't mean to undo that. Hold on. So, when we really want something really bad, like when we want something really bad, like a relationship and marriage, sometimes we don't see what's right in front of our face. You know what I mean? Like now she's realized it because she's married and she's in a healthy relationship. But maybe at the time she was in the relationship with him, she didn't realize how toxic and bad it was. She simply just had her eyes set on marriage, baby, happy life, happy husband, happy kids, happy wife. So sometimes you have these blinders on. That's why she didn't realize after the fact that, like, wow, this man set me up. You know what I mean? You don't know until you're in that situation. There's a viral TikTok or a TikTok video that went viral last week about a woman who's said that her and her partner of 10 years were, they had to renew their lease, and they were like, well, maybe we should get a bigger place. Well, then she said that she came home one day and he told her that he had looked at apartments. And she said, I thought that was odd because he didn't mention that he was going to go look at apartments for us. And he also didn't mention where they were. And then she said, he had been using her car because his car had broke down. So over, a 10-year relationship, you're going to split the car. And then she said, all of a sudden he bought a new car. I don't know if y'all remember the story, but then he bought a new car. And then she said he kept pressing her over and over and over and over and over again to send her all of their vacation photos. And she said, I finally got to it. And I sent them the vacation photos. Well, then a week before that, they had to start looking for apartments, right? Like, okay, we got like 3 weeks left. Let's start apartment hunting. He moves out. She didn't even see it coming. But those were the telltale signs. Now, she didn't realize that till after the fact, but in the moment, she was probably just like, oh, it is what it is. You understand what I mean? So, he's just doing this, he's just doing that. She wasn't putting two and two together. So maybe in the instance of Neo's first fiance, maybe in the moment, she just didn't realize what he was doing, but she was thinking, okay, yeah, we got what we want. We're about to get married, and yeah, 2 kids seems good, in the moment. But after the fact, she's probably like, no, this sick degenerate was like doing one over on me, So that's it. That's all that I got for y'all today. Y'all know we're gonna be back with the Nosy Bystanders later on today. Make sure you follow us. I changed my name. I don't know if I announced that to you guys, but I did. I changed my name on TikTok. I can't find the graphic for it for some odd apparent reason. Is this it? Nope, this is Appleseed. I've lost it. So I changed my name on TikTok. You guys already follow me on TikTok to Chief Nosy Bystander, singular. I'll put it in the chat. Make sure you follow us on our main page. We're here every day at 5 p.m. Pacific. And look, I cleaned my couch. I didn't clean my couch. I just moved my junk over there where you can't see it. So every day we are live here at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We also do the after show. The after show comes a couple of hours after I've decided to eat some dinner. But follow us on TikTok at Nosy Bystanders, spelled just like this, or Chief Nosy Bystander, either page. Tomorrow we're going to have a lot. Tomorrow's going to be a super duper heavy show. Also, I think I have an interview tomorrow on Layla Lynn's YouTube channel. If you don't know Layla Lynn, she does celebrity gossip and mostly church gossip. She's kind of like the Larry Reed of gossip, the female version. So I'll be on her show tomorrow. Check us out at Layla Lynn's YouTube channel. She's interviewing me. Talk about some undisclosed. I think I'm going to drop some stuff. I got some stuff for her. She wants to discuss the Core Jake series, and I might be dropping some new tea for that. So definitely make sure you watch, because I got some new tea in, and I might drop some on her channel tomorrow. We'll see. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining us here at the Nosy Bystanders. I'm your Chief Nosy Bystander, Stephanie. See y'all later. I'll see y'all later. I'll see you on the after show. Okay.